Hello. We have a very special episode today. If you can't tell, I have a very cool sweater on. We'll get into that in a second. We're making chicken soup for your soul.
Well, they say he's not coming back and nothing can fill the void, but at least we can try with food. I'll make some apple pie, come on in. It's Dead Dad's Kitchen.
Do you guys remember those chicken soup for the teenage soul books? I read some crazy shit in those. Damn, were those real? Some of those stories were impactful. Anyway, we're making chicken soup today. You guys can't tell, well, maybe you can. It is so gloomy out today, and it has been for the past couple days. It's the middle of January. I'm not complaining. I'm happy about the gloom, but that just means it's soup season, which is one of my favorite seasons. However, I really only ever make this soup. My dad made such great chicken soup, and then my mom also makes great chicken soup. So that was kind of like our go-to soup, except she does make this one sausage and escarole soup. I think it's called like Italian wedding soup. Let me know if you want that. How many times did I just say soup? How many? Let's count. Soup, 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 soup. In order to make this recipe as special as it needs to be, I am wearing my dad's old sweater, so that's where this is from. If you're gonna ask me where I got it, I have no idea. It's probably from like Macy's in like 1985. This is such a super quintessential recipe to have in your arsenal, to make for somebody you have a crush on, to make for your best friend, to make for yourself. It also freezes beautifully. So we are actually going to have some fantastic chicken broth left over, which I don't even know when this is from. I probably should have dated it. We're also gonna throw this in there. It'll be, you know, it'll be like sourdough. No, it's fine. We're just gonna add this broth to the water that we're using. It's a super simple recipe. It's really time consuming only because it takes a while, not because you have to do a lot. Once you get everything together, it's kind of just a waiting game of like letting things come to a boil, simmer, taking something out, letting it simmer by itself. You'll see. You're about to watch the video. You know exactly what's gonna happen. So let's get started. What you're going to need is a chicken. I also got a parsnip. It's just a root vegetable. It's similar to carrots and parsley, you know. Oh, it does smell really good. This smell is like chicken soup to me in a vegetable. So it sort of looks like a white carrot. It's very fragrant. This will be wonderful to have. If you don't though, that's fine. You'll just use some more carrot or more celery or whatever. Onion, shallot, garlic, and another onion. Why not? We're gonna use a bunch of herbs in this soup, one of them being rosemary, thyme, and some parsley. And when I say black pepper, I'm gonna use black peppercorn actually, so it's a little more concentrated flavor, and just our normal kosher salt. You will need a big pot that can house all of this and a ton of water. And just a quick little side note, this Dead Dad's Kitchen is a little bit different from the rest. I was in the kitchen with my dad all the time, and so making dinner was something I really got to see and be a part of, and that's how I learned how to cook for the most part. But chicken soup is something that does take such a long time that I only got to see him actually like hands-on make it, you know, a couple dozen times, which sounds like a lot, but we cooked like every night. Because it does take so long, I didn't always get to see the whole process through and through. So this is one that is really special because it was something that I just got to like enjoy. It wasn't something I cooked as often as I did the other things. So I'm excited to kind of honor his memory with this one in particular. We do it with all of them, but this one's different. Let's go. Oh, I didn't tell you the other stuff you were gonna need. You also need carrots and celery. This is a great recipe if some of your stuff is maybe not as fresh as it was a couple days ago. I already washed my parsnip. I need to wash my carrots. And this is so, oh my God, this is so my dad vibes because I'll tell you what, I don't know how many of anything you're supposed to use. I'm gonna use 4 carrots in the broth because also, you'll see we're gonna strain this broth and get rid of the veggies that have been cooking for like hours and hours and hours and hours because they get so soft. So I'm gonna save a couple pieces of the veg for putting in fresh vegetables at the end. Am I making literally any sense? My dad always used to say parsley was good for your breath, which I don't know how much validity there is to that, but whatever. We'll let his memory stay alive with that one. We're gonna start chopping stuff. Here's a cool thing about chicken soup. You guys, it's so easy. I honestly love this recipe so much, I thought I'd already filmed it. So all I'm doing is removing the outer super papery layer from these onions, because one of the little pieces of magic about chicken soup is you keep your onion skin on because that actually gives your broth a little extra color. I'm wondering if I need the shallot. I'm gonna not use the shallot actually. I mean, no, because I'll use the shallot in the, okay, that's what we'll do. We do need the shallot, just not right now. Nobody cares. Okay, we're actually just gonna quarter this onion. So I've taken off the top and the bottom. Now we're just gonna lay it on the butt, slice it in half again. Gorgeous. And since we're making a pretty big batch, I'm actually gonna do another onion too. Again, this one's not, you know, I've had it for a bit of time and I have some fresher onions, so why not throw it in there? And it's a purple onion, so maybe it'll give our soup a really cool color, who knows? Just a few tears, nothing crazy. Quarter, quarter. How many tries until that gets bad for me? I'm curious. Here's the thing. You know what's funny about me? I never learn. Come on. There we go. Nothing crazy. We're just gonna crush these, not even worrying about trimming them up or anything like that, because they're just gonna go in here and get strained out eventually, but we are gonna crush them so that the enzyme in garlic that gives it such a beautiful pungent flavor still comes out. That enzyme is called allicin, and the more you agitate your garlic, the more it comes out. So that's why we wanna just give it a little crush. A few cloves of garlic. See, it's a fun recipe. So we have all these beautiful herbs. I wish I had some butcher's twine. I don't. I wish I had some cheesecloth. I don't. I'm just gonna give these a little twist to just sort of express some of the oils and some of the magic that makes these herbs so special. You don't need to use this many. Again, my rosemary and thyme are just something I've had in my fridge for a while, so I figure why not use all of it. Herbs? Might be too many, who knows? Is there such thing as too many? I'm not sure. So for our veggies, super simple. We're gonna rough chop these like you've never rough chopped in your life. So this parsnip, it's not great on its own. I am going to make just really big rough chunks, just so there's still a lot of surface area exposing that flavor and getting it all in there. So look, this is our parsnip. It's super chunky, super easy. Parsnip. We're gonna do the same exact thing with our carrots and our celery. Carrots, celery. So this is like quite literally, I'm literally throwing it together. I'm gonna grab some peppercorns. So I do have a mortar and pestle, but I don't wanna dirty it up honestly, so I'm just gonna crush these up roughly with the back of my knife. Black pepper. Look at this. Why am I trying to plug this in? Are you seeing this? And I'm still like, hold on, let me put it back together. Why? Okay, so now we're on to the main event, which is also super chill and easy. You guys aren't gonna believe how freaking quickly this all comes together. We have our chicken, right? I'm just gonna take it out of its little house. All I'm doing right now is just checking to make sure that like the giblets and the neck and stuff aren't in here in some sort of plastic bag or anything. We're gonna take this whole chicken, and what are we gonna do? We've got everything in the pot now. What I'm gonna do is take my, leftover chicken broth that I've made before and just tossing that in. It's so little, we're just kinda we're giving myself some more space in the freezer is what we're really doing, honestly. Now we are going to fill this with water just to cover. Okay, so we have thrown our chicken soup stock pot mixture on a high heat, and we're going to let this come to a boil, however long that takes. Probably somewhere in the realm of like 25 to 30 minutes, I'd imagine. And once it comes to a boil, we're gonna take it down to a simmer and let it simmer for about an hour to really cook that chicken all the way through. And then I'll tell you what to do from there. I'll see you in a bit. So here's the situation. Been to every nation, ain't nobody ever made me feel the way that you do. That's my favorite joke. Have you guys noticed? It took our stock pot Ew. Took our stock pot about 30 minutes to come to a boil, maybe 35 actually. And once it came to a boil, I showed you guys, I took the heat way down and I actually tilted my lid off a bit. I've been letting it go for about another hour. So what I'm gonna do is remove just the chicken. All the other stuff is gonna stay in there because our chicken is nice and cooked. We don't want it to be overdone. I'm going to put this chicken in a bowl because it's still got all that beautiful liquid in it. Come on. Wonder if I can pick it up like this. Ah, nope. Oh, maybe like this. Here we go. Fall off the bone, tender. Keep that bone in there. Here we go. Why am I, okay, here we go. Okay, there it is. Very hot. But look how beautifully it's cooked. The reason I'm putting it in a bowl is because normally I'm an idiot and I put it on, I know, you're shocked. Normally I put it on a carving, like a cutting board, and then it frickin', you know, drips everywhere. And I'm like, why didn't I? I'm gonna take some of these herbs out actually, because I don't think they need to keep cooking. I think they're gonna get a little too bitter. If I don't get all of them, I don't get all of them. You know, what are you gonna do? The reason that we're leaving this broth to cook is just so it can keep reducing down, getting all those flavors really concentrated. Oh, that's hot. And then once this chicken comes to room temperature, at least not as hot as it is right now, then we are going to take all the meat off the bones. We're actually gonna toss the bones back into the broth because why not get a little extra collagen and bone marrow and protein and all that stuff in there. That's just flavor, baby. Do we like that? Maybe that's my new catchphrase. What do we think? Just as a little treat for me, we're gonna try the chicken. Look how juicy and steamy it is. I'll see you guys in a little bit when we take the chicken off the bone. It's still so steamy. I wonder if you can see that. Okay. Our chicken is cool enough, I think. So we cooked this for so long that it is just like falling off of the bones. This is the whole chicken breast. It really shouldn't be that difficult to start taking this apart. Like, look, when I lift this out, it's the whole bone's gonna come out like it did earlier. Well, calm down. Also, with chicken soup, I don't love the skin of the chicken in there just because like it doesn't crisp up like chicken skin normally does. I'm not gonna like take every piece of skin off because like that would just take too long. And again, the bones I'm just gonna put back in there because we're gonna strain all of that anyway. Look at this, all these bones coming out, gorgeous. Something that I vividly remember my mom doing after dinner, if she would make a roast chicken, or my dad would make a roast chicken, and we had the leftovers, she would sit at the table while we all watched TV, and she would watch TV with us, but she would pick all the chicken off the bone so that we didn't have to like work through it the next day. We just got to enjoy like little pieces like this, which was always really sweet. Dude, I love my mom so f***ing much. Mom, if you're watching this, I love you, and you're very special, and I appreciate all of the chicken that you pulled off the bones for me. My mom's the f***ing best mom in the entire world. I can't believe I got so lucky. This is also just a great recipe because you're really not wasting anything. Everything, like, you are using the bones, they help flavor your broth. You are using your chicken, obviously. You're using all the stuff in your fridge that you don't want to go bad. It's also a great place to use like onions that might not be super fresh, garlic that might not be super fresh. You got a really nice rich color in here already. Always just clean as you go. Makes life a lot easier. Look at all the chicken we got. This is probably like 3 cups of chicken that we'll shred up because there's some like super big pieces. You can see some smaller ones. We'll cut them up to be like a little more bite-sized so that when we do make this into a soup, it'll be like easier to just all get on your spoon. But for now, we're just gonna let this keep simmering because like honestly, why not? This is like my little painter stick thing. I have no idea where my brother found it, but he got it for me a couple of years ago. And I love it. I use it to stir soup and it reminds me of my dad because my dad painted houses. We're just a little dad-centric today, but what else is new? Look how pretty the color of this is. Are we kidding here? So I'm gonna let this cook, keep simmering uncovered because we can just let some of it, you know, evaporate, condense down a little bit. And I'm super excited to see where we land. Okay, so we've come to the point in our day where we're gonna start straining our broth. I'm gonna turn the heat off. We are just gonna take a slotted spoon and get all the super big chunks out of there because like, you know, these super big chunks, all the carrots and the onions and all that stuff, we're just gonna put in here. Crap, see this celery broke in half. It's so hot. Now I'm gonna start straining this. There's so much of it that we're gonna have to do this a couple times. I've got a little colander type thing. It's actually a steamer basket from my Always pan. But it's obviously very heavy and very hot, so just be smart. Hot. See? Strained all this stuff. And this just catches all those tiny little particles, our thyme leaves, our peppercorns, anything we don't ultimately want to be eating in the soup, but we just want the flavor of. Oh, that's hot, I'll tell you what. You thought I was gonna drop it. That's funny because I did too. Okay, this should be our last one. No, 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 no. Look at my baby. Okay, had to take the sweater off. It was a little too warm in the old kitchen. So something my mom does that my dad did not do that I think is very smart is she will actually like lightly saute the new veggies because like why not add a little more flavor if you can. I have some good butter, I have some organic valley butter, got like a little half tablespoon of this maybe. And it's funny because I do really like my veggies like basically raw most of the time. I think that in soup they can stand a little cooking. And then I also, of course, have some water going for my noodles because you guys know I would not be making chicken soup without noodles. I'm just gonna go orzo on this bad boy. So this is on its way. So I'm just gonna put the the celery and carrot and some shallot and just give this a little toss-a-roo, a little salt and some freshly cracked black pep. I might as well throw some of the chicken in there, right? Just a little smaller chicken. I think that'll be good. See how these have all just like gotten a little brighter in color and they're just vibing? I'm gonna let my water come to a boil. I'm gonna clean everything up one last time. We're gonna get our noodles done. We'll put it all together. It's gonna be perfect. You're not gonna believe it. I'll see you in a minute. It's 5:23 and we're ready to eat. The labor of love. Remember, this is like big time my dad's recipe. So this is how I like to finish it off. I like to garnish it. All of these things very much remind me of my dad. So here's what you do. You have your gorgeous chicken soup. Am I right? Look at that. Could I have had more orzo in there? Probably not. Now, what you do is you get some horseradish. This is the one my dad always used, and I have a thing for bottles that never change the way that they look. I'm gonna use just a touch in here at first, just to make sure I'm happy with it. It gives it this really like spicy kind of, it's just great. I'm gonna tell my daddy. But I used to not put horseradish in there because I was too much of a little baby, and I didn't like the spice part. A little fresh parsley. Oh my gosh. It's just perfect. It tastes exactly like home. Actually, I don't know, I haven't tasted it yet. It's gonna be so freaking hot. You obviously don't have to put horseradish in if you don't like spicy or you don't have horseradish. What a perfect little winter meal to make for somebody you love or somebody you don't, who you're trying to love. And it's just, I think this is one of those meals that will remind you of anybody that you're missing. For me, it's my dad. I miss you, Dad. Thank you for showing me. And thank you, Mom, for helping me remember the recipe today. I hope you guys have the best day. I hope you make some food for somebody you love today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Dad, for the recipe. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, like, comment, subscribe if you want. Okay, now bye.